The Indonesian government, along with 130 ex-countries, has committed to implementing the Global Minimum Tax (GMT). This idea came up because many multinational companies have been dodging taxes by shifting their profits to tax havens, countries with very low or even zero tax rates. A classic example of this is Amazon, which is often cited when talking about international tax avoidance. Obviously, this situation could harm Indonesia. That's why Indonesia will start applying the 15% GMT in 2025. But what exactly is GMT? Will it have any direct impact on regular people? Let's dive in. Before we dive into that, if you are an expatriate interested in working or starting a business in Indonesia, the administrative processes like visa applications, work permits, and company formation can be quite a challenge. But don't worry, Bizindo is here to help you. We offer professional services for managing all your needs like visas, work permits, and even setting up your company in Indonesia. With Bizindo's help, you can focus on growing your business or career without the hassle of dealing with administrative documents. Contact us now at www.bizindo.com for more information. Hello everyone, welcome back with us, Bizindo channel, and today we've got an interesting topic to talk about. Yup, Indonesia is gearing up to implement the 15% of global minimum tax next year. Okay, so what exactly is GMT? It might still sound unfamiliar to many. Here's a breakdown. The Global Minimum Tax is an agreement between the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) and the G20 countries. It is a tax of at least 15% on multinational companies with yearly earnings over 750 million euros or roughly 12.8 trillion Indonesia rupiah. This idea came about because a lot of multinationals have been dodging their tax obligations by shifting their profits to tax havens. Basically, they're taking advantage of loopholes to avoid paying higher taxes in certain countries. Whenever GMT comes up, Amazon is often brought up as an example. But why? Well, in 2022, Amazon didn't pay any taxes in the UK despite making 222 million euros or around 3.7 trillion Indonesian rupiah in profits from its business there. This happened because Amazon exploited tax loopholes that allow its UK profits to be shifted to its Luxembourg office, where tax rates are much lower. Now, tax avoidance like this is not necessarily illegal, but it's definitely not good for the countries involved. Like, the trick multinational companies use, known as a base erosion and profit shifting (BEPS), leaves a lot of loopholes open, allowing them to reduce their tax obligations. For instance, Amazon can allegedly claim that its UK office uses patents and intellectual property owned by its Luxembourg office, so the UK office has to pay royalties to Luxembourg. These royalties reduce the taxable profits in the UK. Meanwhile, the Luxembourg office reports profits from those royalty payments. Through this setup, Amazon can avoid paying taxes in the UK and only pay in Luxembourg, where the tax rates are much lower. Now, to avoid losing out like this, Indonesia is set to implement a 15% GMT in 2025. The head of the Fiscal Policy Agency, PKF, Febrio Nathan Kacaribu, explained that Indonesia is implementing GMT because the country doesn't want to miss out on taxing rights from foreign companies investing in Indonesia. He explained that if Indonesia doesn't claim its tax rights, the home countries of these investors will. So, if Indonesia continues offering tax holidays of up to 0% to attract foreign investors, 15% of that tax will be collected by the investor's home country. In other words, Indonesia will end up subsidizing the budget of another country. That's not a good deal for Indonesia. That's why many countries have agreed to apply 3MT in their respective regions to ensure that tax incentives don't completely eliminate the right to collect corporate income tax. Currently, over 140 countries have agreed to this policy, including tax havens like Luxembourg, Switzerland, and the Netherlands. Multinationals will no longer have an excuse to shift their profits to tax havens. The Indonesian government sees this policy as a positive step. Besides boosting the country's tax revenues, it will also create a more level playing field for large companies. So, no more stories about multinationals escaping to low-tax countries to dodge their obligations in Indonesia. With less tax avoidance, the country can expect to increase its tax income. However, despite looking like a win for Indonesia, there is no guarantee that these benefits will be fully realized. According to a report by Compass, the 15% global minimum tax rate is still lower than Indonesia's corporate tax rate, which stands at 22%. So, the impact might not be as significant. Plus, the number of companies in Indonesia that meet the criteria for the global minimum tax is quite limited. Among all public companies with revenue over 750 million euros or around 12.8 trillion Indonesian rupiah in 2023, only 24 multinationals fall into this category. There is also concern that this policy might make some companies reconsider investing in Indonesia. They might feel burdened by the higher tax rates and shift their operations to countries offering more attractive incentives. So, what do you think? Will this global minimum tax bring positive changes, or could it end up being a burden? Share your thoughts in the comment below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out any of Bizindo's latest updates. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.